Welcome to the Wirex Podcast, where we explore the ideas and innovations shaping the future of crypto, finance, and technology. I'm your host, Lianna Adams, and today I'm joined by Ben Bilski, co-founder and core contributor at True Labs. We're diving into the next frontier of crypto, the use cases that aren't making headlines yet, but could transform how we live, pay, and connect. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Great. I'm really happy to have you here. Let's start with your background. Could you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yes, so first of all, I would say I would start with my background as an athlete. So I was a professional swimmer for a long time when I was younger, between the age of 12 to 20. So I've been in the German national team. So that was my first kind of, rodeo, I would say. But I quit quite early or at my peak. And then I jumped into e-commerce. So I was running some e-commerce platforms early on 2008, 2010, when it was really a hot topic, like a bit like crypto now. And then in 2014, after learning a bit in the online space, I founded a company called Naga, which later became a public listed company. So we took it IPO, and it was a brokerage firm that was allowing over 2 million clients to trade stocks, indices, crypto as well. So that was basically my main career between 2015 and 2023. So I learned everything around, operating a platform, an exchange, so to speak, and to deal with clients with a lot of volume, a lot of money. Obviously, the public listing, fundraising, raised like over $150 million for the company. It was a unicorn as well, over $1 billion value. So it's been quite a journey. And then I entered into Web3 in 2024, and we started to basically develop True, which is an AI and is an exchange together, kind of an AI sitting on the exchange. And that's what we're doing today. So I'm basically, from my core background, online business and brokerage trading.
That's amazing. From being a professional athlete to where you are now, that's quite an amazing journey.
Yeah.
I wanted to start off with everyone says, crypto is still early, right? But what if it's not? What if we're already missing the real innovation phase? I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. How would we know if yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So basically, I mean, I got in touch with crypto 2013. That was I'm not like a super OG, super early, but I was quite early, I would say, because of the business that I was operating. And I still feel we're at the beginning. I fully agree. I mean, the thing is just you can see it by numbers. You can see it by the adoption, and you can still ask people around, like we love to call them normies, right? People who are not in crypto, and there's a lot of them. More people are not in crypto than in crypto. So this tells you obviously that we are still very, very early onwards, and we are doing the first baby steps. So I think there's still a lot of innovation, a lot of room to grow, obviously to change, because the current model and the current structure does not allow mass adoption. It's still too complex. It's still
Mm.
too complicated. We have to admit that. And I think every process and everything that you see in the real life right now that is not using crypto can be, people like to say, tokenized or put on chain, etc. So everything that you see, be it also real life examples, like any processes, anything that is still, like, let's say you're applying for a visa, you can put that on chain, make it fully automated, transparent, or I don't know, some supply chain processes, etc. This can be all kind of, put into the world of crypto. So I still think there's too much room, and we're still at the very, very early start. And when we have the moment that 95% of the people hold crypto, then we can say it's too late. But at the moment, I think the number is like 8% or so are in crypto. So 90% are not. And you can ask people, some of them are scared, they don't understand, they don't have a wallet. We in crypto, we always think that everyone understands what the wallet is, So I think there's still a lot of yeah, room to innovate and to build.
Yeah, I really love your barometer, because we keep saying, yeah, crypto is still early, and we've been saying that for the past few years, right?
Yes.
So, sometimes it's like, are we really early? So I really love how you've explained it and how you would measure it, right? So do you think the biggest crypto breakthroughs might actually come from, boring industries no one's paying attention to?
Yeah, this is also a very good question. I think so. I mean, look, naturally, because crypto was connected to finance and trading and money, so this is obviously the first, use case that has been established and that is being adopted. People trade and speculate, etc. And there's a lot of, the biggest companies in crypto are all around, finance, right? Because it's a financial industry. But I still think we need to kind of also separate crypto and blockchain in a way and the technology around it. And I think, yes, if people understand that, for example, I think stablecoins play a very big role in the future of adoption and also in getting industries into the space because obviously they do take away this speculative and risky factor of holding crypto. And then
Mm,
with people understanding what that is digital money, you can get them into the space of blockchain is good, blockchain is actually better, it's cheaper, it's faster, etc. So I think boring industries, it's a very specific question. I don't even know which industry is super boring. If you maybe I don't know. I'm just thinking which one is boring. Shipping is boring. Maybe something in shipping, but shipping is too small. Maybe something with identity management. I think this is still a big issue. If you think about, and I love to use the example of applying for visas, getting passports, identifying yourself. I think that's a very boring thing. But if this kind of can be replaced by, instead of having a passport, having a digital ID, for example, or having your fingerprint or your eyes scanned and put on chain when you have a digital identity, I think this would also cause a lot of, stir and people getting into it and understanding that, we are part of the blockchain industry. So this is where I see it. But in the end, or like at the moment, it's still a money game. And I think
mm.
most of the buzz and most of the activity will still be driven from this core, activity in crypto.
Yeah, I really love your answer, and I really love how you were saying, like, to separate crypto from the blockchain, right? Because in some ways, and when I think about boring industries, it's the quiet ones, right? That don't have any glitz or glam,
Yeah.
that are actually making some tracks, right? Um, I'd love to get your opinion. What's a crypto use case that sounds crazy today, but will probably feel obvious in 5 years?
So I think because we are in the field of AI, yeah. So we're developing our own language model and we're running our own exchange now and building everything. So we are obviously in the space of trading and also leverage trading, etc. But specifically AI. So I think that in 5 years, everyone will have like a digital, let's say, trading advisor or helper or financial
Mm.
manager in their pocket. So I really believe so because this is something that, okay, what are people really concerned with? They are concerned with their health, right? With their families and with their finances. So these are very, very big, huge topics. And I think finance will never go away because people need to survive somehow, right? So now if you have money, you want to multiply the money and your cash flow. So you always will ask the question every day, how do I make more? Or how can I invest or how can I diversify? So this is an everlasting question. And I think through AI and through the, capabilities of a language model being able to store so much, to memorize so much, and to be unbiased, I think this will be something that sounds crazy in what term that you will have even a face and a skin, like a person
Yeah.
talking to you on your phone, like you make a video call or you speak to it, not only the chat, because at the moment we are interacting on ChatGPT or all these things with voice or text message. I believe in a few years you will have a real like a not a real a synthetic person that will be knowing everything around your financial management, about your spending behavior, about how you invest, about your mistakes, about when you get emotional, when you're greedy, or when you're too passive, etc., and be able to assist you. So I think you will have really a human, like a synthetic human, being able to give you financial recommendations, not advice. Obviously, you have to decide yourself, but I think just imagine you would have,
It's
a
almost
video
like
game.
having a whole team of people in your pocket.
Exactly. And it's represented by one person that speaks to you, has a face, a mouth, a nose, like a real human, but has basically a shape and speaks to you and has a brain and memory, knows everything around your finance, connected to your wallets, to your accounts, to your investments, to your portfolios, and will be able to assist you.
I don't know whether I should be feeling excited or scared.
Yeah, that's always what everyone asks themselves. I think I also don't know. It's going into this direction of being scary, especially with AI.
Because it is moving so fast, right? And
Yeah,
and
it's
and
very fun.
just like you said, having someone, it's almost like, yeah, having a team of people in your pocket when and that's accessible to you at, any time of the day. That sounds a little bit crazy, and it's exciting, but then also it's really scary, I have to admit.
Yes, no, I
Um,
agree.
could crypto succeed without mass speculation, you think? Or is speculation secretly the engine that keeps innovation moving?
Oh yeah, it's a deep one. It's a deep question, but it's actually hitting the nail on the head. I think it wouldn't be interesting. It wouldn't be so much spoken about if there wasn't this volatility, if there wasn't this kind of gambling mentality. Yeah, you can see it also very well with prediction markets now. I mean, this is kind of, also something that is growing a lot. People love to speculate. People love to, have an opinion on something, put the money there. So I think it's one of the main driver, and it attracts capital. And without capital, you cannot grow. I think without this speculative character, that's why they keep it alive as well. They're not, if you look at it, they're not forbidding it, right? They're not prohibiting it. It's
Yeah.
they're allowing it even more. I mean, even now under the Trump administration, decentralized exchanges, perp trading platforms, they really have like really tailwind at the moment. So it's being driven because this really pushes people into the space, and then they innovate. So I think without it, it could not succeed. That's my view.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, right? Because in some ways, you've got to keep the narrative going so that more people will then talk about it. And then as you talk about it, more people will start thinking about it and
Yes.
thinking of different ways to, innovate, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I agree fully.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, many talk about banking the unbanked, right? But in your opinion, what's the use case that could actually outcompete banks?
I think the biggest use case definitely is the establishment of stable coins in underdeveloped countries. I think that's very, very important because obviously, yes, it's true in some jurisdictions or some countries, people just do not have a bank account, and they have some form of, of exchanging value. And I think with a very simple like wallet internet connection, obviously, you don't need a bank account. You can already participate. And I think the payments factor with stable coins in underdeveloped countries, third world countries, is really the major use case to allow them to transact, to transmit money without, paying any fees, without the risk of losing it, without somebody just stealing it from them or abusing them. So I think this is the strongest use case where you basically don't need a bank. A bank is just, gatekeeping the money and doing something that you don't know with it, and it's not transparent, and you are like at risk always, that they just freeze you, block you, etc. And there's full control via government to the banks and to your own money. So I think, yeah, the biggest use case is here to allow people to, independently manage their finances and their belongings in a simple wallet, and to perform payments and pay for things. I think this is the biggest use case, and this is where everything starts. So I think that's why I also am a big believer of the growth of stable coins. We're not talking only about USDT or Tron, but there are many, many different ways of backing currencies, putting them on chain, allowing people without a big KYC process also to hold it, to transact with it. This needs a lot of time until the
Mhm.
whole infrastructure is established, that you can also even pay with it, but it's a peer-to-peer thing. So the more people adopt it and accept it, then you will have more stores accepting crypto or like stablecoin payments, and in general allowing you to participate. So I think this is for me the biggest use case.
Yeah, and and I have to say that it really is changing people's lives, right?
Yes, it is.
And I think that's a wonderful thing. But let's just say if crypto disappeared tomorrow, right? Which
Mhm.
problem in the world would immediately become harder to solve?
Yeah, I don't know. To be very honest, I don't know if it's so essential to have it, to be very honest. I mean, the world was working without crypto as well, right? So, um,
That's a great point.
yeah, I mean, it was everything was, some people even, they're not very happy that we have this whole speculation gambling thing because a lot of people lost a lot of money as well. Um, that's a good one. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, obviously, a lot of people will lose a lot of money because Bitcoin must be worthless. But does it really, like, in its form, uh, is it like really something that you cannot, live
Live
without? I
without.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, to be honest. I mean, if you ask me something about, I don't know, penicillin, antibiotics, or or something like that, like some specific, or vaccinations or something like that, yeah, then I would, or food. But crypto, I mean, come on, it's nothing essential. I mean, it's great, it improves things, it gives more access,
I
and
mean,
I
it
am a
is life
maxi.
changing,
It is it is life changing, but you
but we
can
can
live
live
without it.
without. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You are
So
still right. But I suppose, with everything, we we will adapt. When something disappears
yeah,
today,
correct.
like we as the human race, we will always adapt, right? And I think, problems are always going to be there. People will always be peopling, and it's really about how we adapt and how we innovate, really. Yeah, so and I wanted to ask, like, if crypto's biggest success never involves tokens or trading, what would that success look like? How would you measure it?
um how would I measure it?
I
I
know
mean,
I'm asking really deep questions.
no, no, it's a good one, but I would say that I would measure it by the adoption rate and the usage, So
Mhm.
yes, tokens and trading obviously are a big factor, but I think if it's established in a lot of businesses or people are really using it in terms of, payments, for me, something that is it's always very, very present. And blockchain technology of, improving, for example, specific platforms, ledgers, internal process management of companies, because blockchain is not only, as we say, it's not only trading, it's established in big tech firms as well, to improve and make things more efficient. So I think I would measure it by the implementation rate across big businesses and venues. Then this is how I would measure that it's been, that you can say it's a successful implementation, the same way as specific coding languages in specific companies. The same way, if you see that blockchain is being adopted and used, and even people create value with it, then yeah, I would measure it by the amount of businesses using and embracing blockchain as a such, and crypto as a topic.
Yeah, I really love that answer, and it just really makes so much sense, and it makes me think about how, you know, um, it's really redefining how we see value, and the
Yes,
same with AI, right?
correct.
And yeah, and that really makes me think a fair bit, about value and how we measure that. So thank you for that answer. Could crypto's ultimate destiny be to become invisible, so seamless it fades into the background of everyday life?
Yes, yes, I think so. Because at the moment, we have all witnessed the birth of crypto, right? So we know the world, I mean, our generation now, we know it, how it was before. And then suddenly it pops up and Bitcoin comes up and the whole industry just explodes. And I think the upcoming generations, for them, it will be just there. So it will be more established, it will be more part of our daily lives. And I think in, let's say, 20, 30 years, it's going to be just, part of the environment and the ecosystem, etc. So, and then, people, for them, a wallet or a crypto payment will nothing be special or different than, now with us having money, to be honest. Because I think crypto is the better form of digital cash and money.
Mhm.
It's just better, faster, and you have more control over it. We have to replace fiat, so that's very important. It has to fade out, and it does by itself. If you look at inflation, and I mean, it's dying, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that in the near future, just the upcoming generation, I don't know what generations we're calling them, Z, Y, whatever. I don't know what's now. So the ones that are sub 10 years old, okay, like my kids, for example, they're 3 and 6. So I think when they grow up, for them, they will know, okay, crypto is a very basic term. It's something that
Yeah.
is just existing, and it's nothing that you have to adapt or understand. It's just there, and so this is how I
In-
think it will be becoming invisible and less meaningful, but not less in terms of meaningful in terms of its impact. It will have still impact, but I think it will be established in everyone's household and everyone's life.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of like saying, we don't talk about like money as in, like, oh, look, it's money, right?
Yes, correct.
Uh,
Exactly what I mean.
and you're so right because, I think we're only talking about crypto now because, like you said, we're still early. But I think, in years to come, it's yeah. They won't be talking about crypto the way we're talking about it
Yes,
today.
because for them it's going to be fully normal. They were born and they know, okay, crypto is part of it. So, and I think this is exactly as you say. We don't talk about money as a something special anymore. But I'm very sure when they introduced money back then, and there was maybe just gold or coins or something, it's
Mhm.
been also kind of a topic of everyone, right? And it was a revolution when the banknotes came. So I think we are in the same space yet. And for us, we know the world before and after.
Absolutely. And it's cyclical, right? Life
Yes.
life is cyclical. They're all about patterns. And thank you so much for your insights today. Is there
Thank
anything you'd
you.
like to add, Ben?
In general, I see just a great outlook for everyone in the space, and I love to see because now, for example, here's the Binance Blockchain Week at the moment. I love to see being building and innovating. So I think it's a very exciting space, and what I can always say to everyone who's listening, learn everything you can about AI. So that's not only AI in terms of business, but just how it works, how it will impact our life. So I think for me, it goes hand in hand with the movement of crypto somehow. AI and crypto are very close to each other, the same user groups, etc. So I think for everyone who's listening, just get ahead of the AI topic and what it can do and how it will impact everyone's life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you. That was Ben Bilski from True Labs, sharing insights on how crypto innovation is quietly reshaping the real world. Thanks for tuning into the Wirex podcast. Be sure to follow and subscribe for more conversations on the future of money, tech, and digital empowerment. I'm Lianna Adams. See you next time.